Alright, running your numbers. I made this worksheet up. I'll put the link up if you want. You guys can go to it, see this, and print it off and use it for yourself. But basically, your 2 cylinders, exhaust, inlet. So I1, I2, I3, I4, E1, E2, E3, E4. And then you got your clearance. That's the valves checks we just ran. The mediums and the existing. And this is for each shim bucket. So the medium for our inlet side that we're working on right now, remember, is the split between 0.15 to 0.20, which is 0.175 is what we want. 0.175. 0.175. Then the existing. That's where we came out here. We got everything organized nicely. We got the inlet 1, 2, 3, 4 shim buckets in there right now, and then the cam holders 4, 5, and 6 down here. Everything organized. So what we need to do now to figure out what shims or what shim sizes we need to replace to get everything into tolerance. I1 was 16, so that's good to go. I'm not changing that one. I2 was 18, that was good to go. I'm not changing that one. I3 at 23.23 millimeter, that's out of tolerance. So I need to go I3. This is my I3 bucket. I need to get this shim out. Get the shim out. Get these out. Here's just a little, try to get it in there. That little ear right there. It just sits over, pops out. Put the bucket back into I3. So now we need the shim. Now, for this measurement, usually gets worn off. You can see there's the number. Numbers always go on the bottom. So I need a micrometer. Okay, that's zeroed. We gotta get this measurement. So we got, oh, you guys can't see, but it goes half to 1, half to 1 to 1.5 to 2 to 2.5, and then 3.0. So 2.5, 3.0, that's 2.8, or 0.280. That's what we got for our shim now. Damn. Sorry, my math is messed. Can't write a friggin' decimal. 2.8 is our shim. So I hope I'm not confusing you guys. Half to 1, 1.5 to 2, 2.5 at 30 is 2.80. That's our shim size. Take this one out, place it back into our I3 container. Now I got I4 container out because I4 was at 0.22, which is at times. So once again, you got the dog ear. I usually use like a jewelry type jeweler's screwdriver, whatever you call it. It usually gets in there. Just work it a little bit. They fit tight, so. Okay. Little finesse. Shims out. Put bucket back in I4. Keep it organized. Okay. Now. Get a measurement. Got my micrometer on this. Yeah, we're at 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. At 25 and 25. So 2.5 at 25 is 2.75. Okay. So now put this back in the form. If you can see on the bottom of this, we got shims to order. You got your inlets and your exhaust, so everything stays nice and neat, and you can work with what you need. Inlet 1 was at 0.16, so that's good. Inlet 2, 0.18, that's good. I'm not changing it. Inlet 3, we have 0.23. The medium we want to be at is 0.175. And that shim we just measured is 2.80. Now, if you look at that other video, the equation I ran shows A equals B minus C plus D. A is the shim we want to order. Clearance is B. Medium is D. Is C. Existing is D. So A we want to order. B minus C, then add that to D, gives you that. And it's right in order to how this is laid out. So we want to figure out A. We got 0.23 minus 0.175 equals 0.055 plus 2.80 equals 2.855 or a 2.9 shim. That's what we're going to have to order when you go to pick out your sizes. If they have a 2.85 shim, then order it and they'll be balls on. Now, you might have to come down to 2.85 flat or 2.90 or whatever the ordering dictates. But that's where we're at. Just to run our numbers again one more time. So 0.23 minus 0.175 gives us 0.055. 2.80 plus 55, 2.855, and that's what we want to order for inlet 3. Inlet 4, finding out the shim. So we got our clearance was 0.22 minus our medium was 0.175, gives us 0.045. Then we got, so 0.045. 2.75 is the existing. So we got 2.75 plus 0.045, and we want a 2.795 shim. 2.795 shim. That's the shim we want. That's how you run your equations and get your numbers. Alright, so need a 0.285, I'm going with 285, and a 2.795, I'm going 2.8. Those are the shims I got. I'm running it on that. So, come back over, got everything nice and organized. Start with the I4 one. I4, we got a shim bucket. And then the shim that we're running. Now, something good to do, have your extra oil, coat this up, get everything nice and smooth in here, as well as the bucket to get some oil in there. Pop and you gotta make sure the seats real evenly, because it will affect how your lobe is running over it. It's tight fit, so just make sure, like there, you get it on it real flush and even, and it turns nicely. So I4 is done. I'm turning around to the bike and putting it in I4. Okay, shim buckets and shims back in place. Everything's floating nicely, keeping all loose parts away from the open end of the motor. I'm ready to bring my cam shaft back. So, for the manual, putting light coat of grease on the barrels where they go into the holder. Our cam is still locked in, as you can see, and you probably can't see the timing marks. We basically bring it in and fit it in where it's supposed to go. And get your timing marks down. Take the time and make sure they are marked up correctly. You guys see that? Came out. If you look there, we're back into our timing marks. Take my leftover oil. The holders. Manual says to get the screws as well, so make sure to get those. Get the top of the shims. and the lobes. This is just more little extra thoroughness so you don't have a dry startup on your bike. Like so. Seated on 4, cam holder 4, cam holder 5, cam holder 6. Got cam holder 4 here. See if that'll focus. With the arrow pointing up. This has to go back the same way. Now we're gonna get these started. Now I'm just getting them started so they don't come out. Everything is in the way it should. There's actually no tension going on these yet. Number 6 is our last one. All 5 pieces. Arrows pointing in the same spot. Okay. And then number 5. Good grip on anything. No extra tools floating around this open end of your motor. Everything's seated good. Okay, we're good. Step away. Remember the pattern. 1, 2, 3. You just gotta put some feel, but just progressively do it evenly. You should not be feeling any kind of tension within the first go around. We're only setting at 10 Newton meters. I'm gonna torque them down in order as per the manual. Good. Alright, that is the process. I'm not going to go through the process on the exhaust cams. I got 2 out, but it's the same exact thing as what you just saw. So I'll come back at you putting the crossover oil pipe on. Okay. Feed pipe. Got 2 new washers here. Rubber gaskets here. I'm going to hit this up with a little bit of oil. Soften it up. Get it to sit nice. Good. All loose parts accounted for. Puzzles in. Before I push on this, I'm going to get a couple threads started here and here. So if I slip, nothing goes ka-tunk down into the bottom end of the motor. Got that to pop in nice. Finger tighten these down so they don't need to be moving tools in here. These are only set at 8 Newton meters. Okay, so that's set. This is good. Now, I'm done. I'm done with everything tightening down. Exhaust is done, inlet's done. All I gotta do is back these off, take measurements, make sure all my calculations are good and that we're in measure or in tolerance. But a good trick, now that we're all done with the tools part of this, take our rags back out and then go through, just make sure everything seats well and there's no problem. Go back with your 10mm or your rear wheel, however you're doing it, and then just cycle everything through. And the reason why you're doing that is because these are such really just finite small tolerances that we're measuring stuff. If you don't have a shim in the bucket, if it's a little bit cockeyed or whatever, you're gonna feel it working the motor now. And you're basically just making sure everything sets, so you know. And then if there's a situation, just fix it now that we got everything out. This feels good. So, everything looks good too. Everything's lined up in tolerance. I'm not gonna make the video and run the checks because every video now I think you've seen me running feeler gauges in here to see tolerances, so you've seen enough of that. So that's it. That's how you do shims. I'll post that thing up if you guys want that worksheet. And it's just a matter of buttoning everything up. So hopefully this helps you out. And you guys, I know you've been waiting a while to see this video, so there you go.